dive and surface? It's a fascinating process, and we're going to break it down for you. These underwater marvels have been around for quite a while. They've played crucial roles in exploration, warfare, and scientific research, making them an important part of our history. But have you ever stopped to think about the science behind these subaquatic vessels? Well, it's all about buoyancy, my friends. You see, submarines are like giant steel balloons. They can float because the weight of the water they displace is equal to their own weight. Now, when they need to dive, they simply alter their buoyancy, making themselves heavier than the water they displace. This is done by filling their ballast tanks with water. And voila, they start to sink. So now you know why submarines don't simply sink to the bottom of the ocean. But how do they control their depth? You might be thinking, how does a submarine go down? It's all about the ballast tanks. All right, let's break this down. Picture a submarine as a big metal bathtub toy, but instead of a rubber ducky, we have ballast tanks. Now, these aren't your ordinary tanks. They're special chambers that can be filled with either air or water. When the submarine needs to dive, the captain says, "All right, folks, time to take the plunge." And the crew opens the valves. This lets in water from the sea into the ballast tanks. As water fills these tanks, the submarine becomes denser than the water around it and starts to sink, just like when you fill a water balloon and it plops down to the ground. It's like the submarine is playing a game of underwater seesaw, balancing between air and water. It's a delicate dance of physics, performed thousands of feet below the surface of the sea. So that's how they dive. But what about when they want to come back up? Now, surfacing isn't just about blowing bubbles and hoping for the best. There's a bit more to it. Imagine you've just finished your underwater adventure and you're ready to return to the surface, to the world of sunlight and seagulls. You don't just start kicking upwards, right? Nope. Submarines have a more sophisticated method. They have these things called ballast tanks. Now, these aren't your average fish tanks. These tanks are for water and air. When our submarine wants to play peekaboo with the sun, it starts to empty its ballast tanks of water. And what's replacing this water, you ask? Good old air. As the water is pumped out, air rushes in to fill the void. This makes the submarine lighter, kind of like when you let go of a beach ball underwater. It zips right up to the surface. And there you have it. That's how submarines rise to the surface. But how do they move forward? Scene script. Submarines don't just bob up and down, they have places to go. But how do they get there? Well, let's dive into the world of submarine propulsion. You see, submarines are like underwater rockets, shooting through the ocean depths. At the heart of this travel is the propulsion system. This system is essentially a big engine that uses either nuclear power or diesel-electric engines to turn a propeller. Imagine a giant spoon stirring your morning coffee. As it moves, it pushes the liquid around, creating a flow that moves your coffee. Similarly, as the propeller of a submarine turns, it pushes water backward, creating a forward thrust that propels the submarine. And it's not just about going forward. Submarines can also move backward, sideward, and even up and down, all thanks to this ingenious propulsion system. So, next time you see a submarine darting through the water like a deep-sea explorer, remember, it's not magic, it's mechanics. And there you have it, folks. The mysteries of submarine navigation, demystified. Remember, it's all about buoyancy, balance, and a bit of bubble-blowing action.
Hey there. Subscribe to my channel. And also press this bell icon.